I'm Ben Chilwell, and these are my keepsakes. My first keepsake is my debut England shirt. I was actually with England's under-21 team at the time. Got told before the second match for the England under-21s that we were going into the senior squad, and I was at Leicester at the time. So I knew that we were playing at the King Power Stadium. The game was against Switzerland. Every emotion you can think of, nerves, excitement. Yeah, I came on in about roughly the 80th minute. Yeah, it just ended up being such a special day for many reasons, like I just mentioned. It was the Kitman Frosty. He came up to me after the game. I kind of forgot in the moment, and he came up to me and he said, "Do you want all the boys to sign it?" To which, obviously I said, of course. Yeah, so then Frosty's the one that is to thank. If I'm to mention anyone that stands out, it would be Harry Maguire. I was at Leicester with him at the time, so he was the person that was helping me feel most kind of at home in the group. But I knew a lot of the boys previously from playing in the youth teams at England, playing against them in the Premier League. I think, as everyone knows, it's such a good group of players and such a tight group of players in the England squad. It makes the step going into the team pretty seamless. So I've kind of got to thank the manager for that, and of course all the players for making it such an easy transition stepping into that group. Okay, so my second keepsake is the England cap with my legacy number on the front. This is such a special, potentially, the one that I'm most proud of. Number 1,235 on the front, which means that I'm the 1,235th player to play for England, which kind of put it into perspective that it was, such a great and pretty difficult achievement with the odds and the amount of people that grow up wanting to play football and play for England. Whenever you wear the shirt, whether it's the under-18s or making your debut for the first team, it's of course a very special moment. I'm pretty sure it was during the Euros. It was before the tournament started, and we were all in the reception of the Hilton Hotel, which is where we stay at England camps up at St George's Park. And the manager, Gareth Southgate, told us that he had, organised for us all to get these really special caps with our legacy numbers on the front, and individually he handed them all to us. And yeah, it was just a really special moment for all of us, especially going into such a big tournament. My next keepsake is the Leicester shirt in the corner. And yeah, this is another very special keepsake because Kunvichai passed away, and this was the shirt that I wore on the day. And we all felt as players that it was very important that we wanted to honour him, and what a great person he was. So we all decided to get the shirts from the game framed, and of course it's hung up in my house. And it's just nice to have that memory, and the memory of him will not die in any of our eyes because we all have them shirts. And yeah, just what a good guy he was, and that I can remember him with something so special, which is in my wall of my house. I remember the very positive and I would say loving memories that we all had at that time. I was 18 when we won the league at Leicester, and to be part of that group and how together the group was, but not just the players, it was the staff. Kun Top, who's Kunvichai's son, who now is looking after Leicester, and it was just the memory. So like when I see the shirt now, it's the memory of the dinners we all had together, the nights out we would have, and just how generous he was to us and how he supported all of us. I just remember the very fun and positive moments that we had, and it brings me back to such a happy part of my life. I think the way that this kind of impacted all of us was, without sounding in a weird way, it impacted us positively because it brought us all so close together. Kind of made us this family that wanted to do everything together. We wanted to, win games for him, for each other, for the fans, because, it wasn't just us that went through that. It was, of course, his family and kind of everyone associated with Leicester as a club. It kind of hit all of us, very hard for you're playing a match and then something so devastating can happen, literally probably an hour after the match. So, for me personally as well, it was not to take anything for granted, and, it puts a lot into perspective. And it was a very sad moment for everyone, but I think looking back in hindsight, it definitely brought us all together and a lot closer, and which he was always such a big believer of, was that he wanted us to all be a family. So, unfortunately he passed away, but, he would have loved the fact that we all became so close from it. Another really special item for me is these Wayne Rooney boots, which he signed, which I was very happy with. Since I was young, I've always watched Wayne Rooney and, thought what a brilliant player he was. And of course, he's a Man United legend, he's an England legend. So although he wasn't my position, I've always idolised the way that he plays and, just what a great footballer he was. So when I was in the England camp against the USA, Wayne Rooney got called up to have his final game. I was fortunate enough to be able to spend the week leading into the game with him. And just being able to sit with him at team dinners in the hotel, just to be able to chat to him about his career and just generally just having conversations with him. He was such a good guy with all of us players that were, I would say, probably peppering him with questions, just constantly like trying to get inside his brain to, understand his thought process and how he got to where he was. I think me and Jesse got subbed for him and someone else, and I've got a picture in my house, which is me going off the pitch and giving him a shake of the hand and him going on the pitch. So that was very surreal, the fact that I was getting subbed off the moment that he was getting subbed on for his final game. And then after the game, I don't think these were the ones he wore, but he had them with him. And I just asked him after the game, I said, I hope you don't think I'm being cheeky, but do you reckon I can take them boots, and can you also sign them for me as well? So, and of course he said yeah. I think for someone who I grew up watching and idolising, to be able to get their boots and for them to sign them was, again, such a very special moment. My final piece of memorabilia, and of course a very special and potentially up there with my England debut, my proudest days in football, is the Champions League trophy, which we won back in 2021. Of course, this isn't the actual trophy, but this is something that I think it was maybe a month after Azpilicueta put a message in the group chat and said that he had organised for all the players that were involved to get these amazing replicas. Spoke about it before, but the reason that I joined Chelsea was to win trophies. So for my first season to win the Champions League and do it with such a great group of players and all my friends and family being there and getting to celebrate with them after the game in the team hotel, all of us players together and socialising with all of the staff and our friends and families, it was just such a special night, and definitely a night that I will always remember. I've not drunk out of this trophy, but I did drink out of the trophy, which is probably better than drinking out of this one. Endless amounts of beer that was drunk out of that trophy that night from everyone. I've actually got a few memories when I look at this. One of them is actually kind of funny now looking back, because it was either my first or second action in the game. I took a touch and I opened up and I lost the ball. And that's not the first thing that springs to mind, but it always just makes me laugh, because all of my friends that were at the game, they're always like, we're a little bit nervous after that, because, we were just thinking, oh no, Champions League final, hope he doesn't have a stinker. But thankfully after that, I ended up having a pretty good game. I just remember the moment that the final whistle went, and I just kind of remember falling to my knees and kind of just like looking around the pitch and just seeing all of the Chelsea staff running on the pitch, all of the players just hugging each other, and people were lying on the floor. And I don't think probably until a long time, like potentially when I retire, it will fully sink in that that's something that we all achieved together. So another cool thing about the trophy which of course when it's standing on its like this, you don't notice that it actually has the Champions League logo engraved in the bottom, which again I think is a pretty cool thing. You know, when you're younger, every player wants to play in the Champions League, and I just feel like this logo is very like symbolic of when you're younger and watching the Champions League. It's kind of one of the things that stands out. So it's only a little detail, but it's something that I personally find very special. Those are my 5 keepsakes, probably the 5 things that stand out for me the most in my career and are the most special for me. Obviously I've had a lot of special moments, but these are the 5 that stand out, and hopefully many more to come.